We have to talk about the moment we're having with surveillance technology. Proponents of this technology say that it's making us safer. Between flock cams on every corner, Palantir, I can't believe you would name a company after the literal device in Lord of the Rings that was like too dangerous to even hold to try to look everywhere and have all the information at once. And now you have AI-powered cameras all over the city. And in the most recent story that I wanted to make a quick video about, they're flying above our heads at this point. And here's the issue. The proponents of this technology say it's for our safety, say that it's just for the good guys. It's just for law enforcement purposes. But time and time again, there's two major concerns with this line of thought. Number one, the technology just for the good guys. The good guys is doing some heavy lifting here. And I could show you some examples of why. And two, they over and over again cannot seem to protect access to just law enforcement, even if we remove this concept of the good guys. So I've got two recent stories from just this week of this going wrong. Number one, we've got our friend Sam Curry. Sam, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, Sam is a legendary hacker and bug hunter who seems to find this kind of stuff all the time and is always pushing the boundary of like security and vulnerability research and getting himself in some hot legal trouble. He's hacked cars. He hacked his way through TSA security by putting himself on the known crew member list. He's hacked his way into first class by hacking the airline seat platforms. Sam's a legend. Well, Sam figured out that this Skydio platform, which is a very crazy drone company, if you go to Skydio's website, they don't even hide the fact that they are specifically selling to law enforcement. The whole website is just about tracking people, patrol, deter, respond. All of the people using their drones are in uniform, and they tout how far away this drone can be while identifying somebody. And that's one of the things that in this story we're going to get to. And Sam was going across some information in his threat intelligence feeds, and he found some information about Skydio drones being used by the San Francisco Police Department to surveil their streets. To not bury the lead, the reason that we have all of this footage is that the San Francisco Police Department used a feature in the Skydio platform. To not bury the lead too much, these researchers found that the SFPD used a feature in the Skydio platforms called ready links. These are basically permalinks that you could create to share some buckets of footage through this Skydio software. People are getting into trouble with permalinks right now with ChatGPT. You can like permalink your whole chat history to share it, and it winds up getting cataloged by Google or something else. And then like your otherwise private chat is all of a sudden accessible via a search engine, via a permalink. So same kind of story here. This police department was sharing footage from their drone software. And then Sam and some of his research partners, Robert is the other guy's name, found the link in Alien Vault's Open Threat Exchange. If you're not familiar, this is a threat intelligence platform that's really popular within the cybersecurity community. And all that they found in here were the links. Then they went to the links and there was not a single stitch of authentication on them at all, which is kind of the crux of their argument of like, what are you talking about? We didn't hack anything. SFPD responded saying, hey, these are internal and restricted links. This is for SFPD law enforcement purposes only. This must have been improperly obtained and accessed by individuals without authorization. Sam and his research partner are like, we didn't bypass anything. We just went to this URL. What are you talking about unauthorized access? So Sam has a relationship with Andy Greenberg over at Wired. So we actually get like a really good journalistic look into this footage. The Wired news machine kind of spun up to see what we actually had going on. So we got like tons of information about the kinds of investigations that they were doing. The one thing that I think was important to note here is that in all the many hours of footage that was leaked via this, no one looked up. I just want to let that like sit for a second. I've seen like police footage where a drone is chasing someone or a helicopter is chasing someone. They're always looking up and looking back as they're figuring out what the heck is over them. No one looked up. Is that because this thing is 2 miles in the air at the time or about a mile in the air at the time and it's this small, quiet drone? No one even realized they're being surveilled. And while, yes, there is footage of arrests being happening and, you know, that makes sense that that's aiding law enforcement in capturing individuals, a ton of the footage was just people going about their day. Just kudos to Wired to putting this kind of stuff together with actual timelines of how many flights and different drones coordinated following certain people around the city of San Francisco. But then you have footage, you could see how close they can zoom in into people's apartments. This looks like police activity that they're gaining some footage outside as part of the investigation. But you can see the capability here, right, of this drone to just look inside some people's apartments. And then this footage was a prowler incident, and it turned out to just be like a guy smoking a cigarette on his own roof. And he's getting some close-up drone footage that he probably had no idea was even happening. You could see how many times they could zoom in to even get that shot of that person. In this footage, a drone actually tracked a car for 10 minutes in response to some sort of auto boost strip incident, whatever. And then the people just got out and started playing basketball. Again, no actual criminal activity. And while yes, okay, we understand that the police need investigative technology, I need to flip to another story of the week where we have another law enforcement officer using other surveillance technology, again, powered by AI behind the scenes to match license plates to certain people. This report out of 404 Media, kudos 404 Media. Again, they did the cool journalist thing, and the only reason we have all this footage is because they actually went and requested, Freedom of Information Act to get this footage from this cop's cruiser. We don't have audio, but the gist of this story is that this cop was the security detail on a television set where he started inappropriately hitting on one of the women that was an extra on that TV set. There's multiple reports of how this cop was harassing this woman and asking for her name and her Instagram handle and all this kind of stuff. And he said even then, hey, I'm going to find you. I'm going to track you down and I'm going to find you. This woman had a boyfriend. Not like that matters. But this cop went through with it, and he used the David system, basically the Department of Motor Vehicles system, to put this person's name in, found their license plate, fed that license plate number to an AI-powered automated camera license plate reader, and he got a notification when she drove past, basically a flock cam. Maybe it's not flock, maybe Florida's got something else, but basically a flock cam pinged, and he started driving 70 miles per hour down the street, zooming into oncoming traffic to pull over this woman to just say, see, I told you I was going to find you. I wish your boyfriend was here so I could have pulled him out of the car to give him a hard time, is what he said. So when we talk about that this surveillance tech is only for the good guys, or it's for official law enforcement purposes only, these two incidents are just in the last few days. I can pull up countless incidents of misuse of people tracking their ex-wives, stalking, typing a license plate into some reader and getting a ping off a camera is one thing. We've seen evidence of police subpoenaing information based on a divorce or something like that, or a stalking situation. These systems get abused constantly. And when they're not being abused, they're not being protected either. They're leaking information to this data. How many open flock cameras have we seen on the internet? Now we have this open police drone footage. The reason I wanted to kind of make this video also is I've done a few videos on my channel about the encryption wars, the end-to-end encrypted apps that we use that governments and law enforcement agencies are begging for backdoors into. If you go to the UK right now, they are just screaming from the rooftops. Their elected officials are just begging for access into our private encrypted electronic communications. So much so that Apple has even had to pull features out of iOS in the UK market because they were unwilling to put a backdoor in it that the government was requiring of them. The argument is exactly the same for the encryption wars as it is for this surveillance technology, that they need it to keep us safe. But privacy advocates, myself included, just point to time and time again, there's no such thing as surveillance or backdoors or access to encrypted information or your private lives that will not be misused or mishandled and abused by non-good guy parties. And the fact that these drones even already have NVIDIA chips on them for AI, and they say that it's to avoid power lines, it's for navigation or whatever it is. But you know that these cameras, these traffic cameras, the Palantir stuff, and these drones with AI making decisions on these people. I mean, to pull up another example I just thought of, again, kudos 404 Media, cops actually used Flock, an AI-powered identification, said that this woman was a porch pirate. The woman had video evidence of herself at her own house at the time of the arrest. The cop wanted nothing to do with it. They were like, I got you dead to rights. I got you on camera stealing this package off this person's porch. And the whole case that this cop was standing on was because nonetheless, this flock camera flagged it as this person and it was a misidentification. So whether it's abuse, whether it's AI mistaking, whether it's threat actors or just otherwise bad actors getting access to this surveillance or encryption breaking technology, this stuff has to stop. Anytime you hear a headline or see a headline that's asking you to reduce your rights to privacy, your rights to not be surveilled just going about your daily life, and they're pulling on your heartstrings to say they're doing it to save the children or they're doing it for your safety in your community, go look at where flock cameras are clustered. Did anyone see that post a few days ago that flock cameras happen to be around Lowe's or Home Depot parking lots? Their intentions are super clear, and the money that's going into these campaigns, literal PR campaigns to get support from people, are just pulling at your emotion strings, and they're trying to not talk to your logical mind. I'm going to keep highlighting examples of this. Kudos to Sam for being willing to, again, take the heat from the law enforcement to actually point out these security issues in this drone footage. Kudos to Wired and 404 Media for constantly being on top of this stuff. And let me know what you guys think about this trend and the direction that it's going. Are you in camp, this is making us safer? Obviously, I disagree, but I want to hear your point anyway. Or are you in camp that this has gone absolutely too far? Thanks so much. Do all the YouTube stuff down below, and I'll see you next time.